Good evening, brothers. Hello. How's everybody? Good evening, Mike. I got another box of Legion. This will be the last box of Legion. Do you know what? It might not be the last box of Legion that I make this holiday. I'm going to save my drop pod for the night of the 31st. So, that'll give me some Warhammer stuff to do in 2 nights' time. I think this drop pod is completely on sprue, right? Yeah. I haven't done anything with it. I had this for like... I think I had this before I moved into this house. I moved in like October last year, so that's pathetic that I haven't done anything with it, but been doing a lot of painting before I broke my arm, right? Now I guess not so much painting. Modelling. If you missed last night's stream, I made some tom-toms. I actually think they're pretty cool. So I made 2 of them. I think I'm going to try and spray them tomorrow. And I did finish spraying my Death Company. And I painted 1 shoulder pad on 2 different models to try out that new paint, the Duncan Rhodes paint. And there's the 2 thin coats paint. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. Mike, actually, if you're... next time I send you a model or something, I'll send you this paint. Because I'm not going to use it. It isn't as close a match to Evil Sun Scarlet as I would like. And it doesn't seem to have as good coverage either. So, like, the one on the right is Evil Sun Scarlet. That's 2 coats. The one on the left is the Demon Red, which is supposed to be a like-for-like match. And it's 3 coats. So I would say that, I mean, over black, sometimes you need more than 2 coats, but the fact that the left-hand one's got a whole extra coat on it, I'm not doing... I don't want to do 4 coats on my models if I'm painting over black, because I'm like the slowest fucking painter in the world. But yeah, 2 thin coats is not the right name for this paint. 4 thin coats. Yes? Someone said you're not supposed to water this paint down. If that's true, then... I mean, it came out of the pot pretty thick for not watering it down. I don't know, I don't read that anywhere that it's not supposed to be watered down, but it's not a good enough match for Evil Sun Scarlet. When you actually put it side by side with Evil Sun Scarlet, it's not even close. No, I mean, I guess it's close, but it's not close enough for my needs. Let me put on a different light, actually. More white light. It's very yellow in this room right now. Let's put on a white light. I mean, it's not close enough for Evil Sun Scarlet, not to match the rest of my army. Anyway, Mike's in the house. Good. Hello, Mike. Monkey Llama, good evening. Ben, good morning. Jim, good evening. Gavin, good evening. Living Ghost, what Legion are you planning to do? These are Rebel Alliance. I have like a whole Rebel Alliance army that's, let's say, got base colours on it, bar like 1 or 2 models. So by buying these Tauntauns and buying these veterans, that gives me 800 points and I can field a Rebel Alliance army. Mike said you used my Vindicator Laser Destroyer in a game today and it didn't die. Nice, Mike. You're using all my models. Let me know when you're planning on sending my models to me. That would be cool. It's a bit closer to Wild Rider Red. Yeah, but I mean, on his colour palette, it said that it was supposed to be a match for Evil Sun Scarlet. So I don't know what I feel about that. I never use Evil Sun Scarlet over black, always over Mephiston Red. Yeah, I mean, I guess I was just testing it to see how it gets on. Alright, so I don't know really what to expect from the Rebel veterans. Alright, we get 7 models. Here's your instruction sheet. These things don't come on sprues, they just come in little bags. So I guess you got to figure that out for yourself. And this has some special rules because this is a gun emplacement. I don't think I've got any gun. I don't think I've had a gun emplacement before. So 7 models. And I guess the gun emplacement has one of those fancy bases that uses like the pivot table and the line of sight thing. Not the line of sight thing, the fire arcing thing. Maybe we'll make that model first. Why not? I think this is it here. Alright, that's what we'll start. It's called a Mark II Medium Blaster Trooper. Good evening, Erezio. Good evening, Miles. Miles is also weirdly doing Legion tonight. I was wanting to do this Legion. I bought this Legion stuff like 3 months ago, Miles. It's never a high priority for me, right? Because my highest priority is always doing my 40k stuff and my Blood Angels and painting it. But like I guess when I'm painting, I need the model like 6 to 12 inches away from my face. So at the moment, I can only hold the model down at like my waist because that's where one of my arms is basically hanging, and that's too far away for me to see them properly. And also, it's super awkward because I can only really use my right arm. You can't really see it on the stream, but like this thing here is this is like the thing that's hanging around my neck. I guess it's just a sling. So my right arm's in a sling. So it's too awkward to try and paint and still have it in the sling. I did start physio today though. So like I can bend my arm a little bit. And I can use a mouse again, which with my right arm if I put a cushion down, which is amazing because God, not being able to use a mouse has arguably been the most frustrating thing, I guess. So at least I can use a mouse again. Alright, so this comes with this little tripod. So I think I'll glue the tripod first. I think that's where we'll start. Hey Brayden, finally able to catch the stream. Yeah, this is the first time I've streamed in the evening for a little while. I figured because it was the holidays, I've been trying to spend a little bit more time of an evening with my wife. That probably sounds bad that I just ignore her on normal nights, but I don't ignore her. We watch stuff till like 10 o'clock and then, because the kids go down to bed at like 7, and then she watches drivel, I guess, or she watches her programs on Netflix, the sort of stuff that I wouldn't watch, rom-coms and baking shows, and I don't know what else she watches, but stuff that I definitely wouldn't watch. Yeah, so first time streaming of an evening in a little while, actually. I'm going to be streaming again in 2 nights' time, though, for the New Year stream, I guess. I put some alcohol in the fridge today for that very reason. That's probably too much super glue because that's a tiny little bit, but I have a tissue here this time, so I can, or a bit of kitchen roll, so I can wipe off too much super glue. I was very surprised on my last stream that some people never realised that on the Games Workshop models you can use plastic cement. I was telling them that plastic cement is 1,000,000 times better than super glue for doing hobby stuff. If it's the right plastic, I highly love. What's the plan for the New Year's Eve stream? At the moment, there is no plan, I guess. Like, I'm not that organised. Plan will be to do a stream and drink some alcohol, which I don't normally do, I guess. We might get some people on if there's people around. We'll see. I saw that you signed up for Super Major in May. Will you be willing to lend advice? I mean, that's kind of what I do. Is can't get behind this, cousin. What do you mean you can't get behind? What can you not get behind? lending advice on army lists is kind of what this channel is all about, Riziel. I think I'm going to be okay for my tournament in January. I walked almost 2 miles today. I wasn't too sore. So I could have actually walked a little bit further, but my kid was having a meltdown, so we had to come home. But oh, you can't get behind Star Wars? That's fair enough. I think this is only my second Star Wars stream ever on this channel, but maybe it's just normally I don't touch Legion on the channel because I just end up painting Blood Angels, and I get so many Blood Angels to paint that I never have the chance to get round to doing these Legion models, even though I've had them for 6 months. But I figured I literally can't paint. I tried the other night. It was painful and super awkward, so I guess I'm just going to do Legion tonight. Fortunately, I've got that one Warhammer model to do on the New Year's Eve stream. So how is this supposed to work? Does this gun just go in there? And actually, is this supposed to like link in? Is this an ammo pack? I think this is supposed to go in like that, is it? Yes. Okay, that's a bit awkward. And how do the arms attach to the gun? So yeah, so this stream in the one that was like 2 nights ago or 2 days ago were Star Wars streams, and I think that's probably the only Star Wars content we'll probably have for probably a few years. Because as soon as I can get painting again, I'm going to be painting primarily. And I think there's going to be a lot of Blood Angels releases in 2023. I think GW are going to be sharing a video tomorrow, right? If I'm correct, like what's coming in 40k in 2023. There'll be a lot of teasers, I'm sure. Because they released like a Horus Heresy video today of like what's coming in 2023 for Horus Heresy. Is the arm feeling any better? Yeah, I mean I started physiotherapy today a little bit, so like I can bend the arm a bit. The muscle isn't totally dead. It's quite hard work, though, to just bend the arm 45 degrees, 90 degrees. But I wasn't sure I could do it at all. So I can do it. So I guess things are healing slowly. But yeah, I mean, if I can already move the muscle and I can already bend it and I've got a decent range of motion, I feel like the healing's going pretty well. So thanks for asking. Just got a box of Horus Heresy Terminators for Xmas. How would you build them? I'm thinking doing one squad with lightning claws. I
didn't get that.
Oh.
Could you try again?
Not talking to you, Siri. One squad with lightning claws and combi bolter, and one squad with chain fist and combi bolter. That's probably exactly how I would build them actually. I like the lightning claws because they're cheap in terms of points, but I also like the chain fists because they're very anti-vehicle. So, but here's the thing with the rumor mill at the moment. The rumor mill is saying like a lot of marine stuff is going to get a points drop. Weapon options are going to be free. Is this your first injury requiring physical therapy? Yes. I had a problem with my knee before, but I never got physio for it. With the apparent end of Armor of Contempt, how many Vanguard veterans should I paint? I mean, it depends if Vanguard veterans are going down in points, because they put them way up in points, right? And that's what stopped... It wasn't Armor of Contempt that stopped people playing Vanguard veterans, it was that they put their points up. I think, anyway. I mean, I think that's kind of why I stopped playing them, is they put their points up. Shit. I think I was supposed to glue that arm in first before you put the backpack on. That's the problem with these diagrams not having step by step. So the arm wouldn't fit in with the backpack glued on, but you don't know what order you have to glue things on. Okay, I'll have to re-glue the backpack. Lord Commander, any tips for Death Corpse of Krieg? 1,000 points. I'm really familiar with Death Corpse of Krieg. I never bought that kill. I wanted to buy the kill team. My problem though is like, I just don't get enough time each week to do painting. So it's very hard for me to get ahead. Like, if anything, like I've been commissioning Mike with his awesome Paint It Red studio. I would plug your studio, but you need to send me another sticker, Mike. I've probably lost your sticker. I've been commissioning Mike to help me try and finish up my Blood Angels, because there's always exciting new Warhammer stuff coming out all the time, right? Like, I noticed today they talk about boarding actions, and I find it, yeah, I'm just always that's why my Legion's just been neglected. I should work on Plasma and Scepters. You know what, I've got half finished Plasma and Scepters. I should probably finish as well if they're going down to 40 points. But yeah, no, it's this is why I guess, like, I don't. So that must be for that bit. I think. Yeah. Which way around would it be best to be? Like this? This is very delicate, actually. But yeah, no, before Armor of Contempt came out, I actually painted myself 15, I think it was 15 Vanguard veterans, all with storm shields, and some with thunder hammers, some with lightning claws, some with chain swords, some with power fists. I magnetized some as well, and then I had 5 more with lightning claws that I stopped working on, I guess because they didn't give them Armor of Contempt. But so, if you're asking how many Vanguard veterans is a good number, I'd say 20 is a good number, but maybe you could start with 10. If you magnetize them, maybe you can get away with 10. I didn't magnetize like half of them to begin with. But as always, whenever you don't magnetize stuff, you generally regret it, and then you come back and magnetize stuff. Ow. Yeah, this is a very delicate / fiddly model. Okay, one more arm to get on. Curtis says I just built a Leviathan Dreadnought. Ranged weapons without directions. I hope it went well. Do the new Forge World kits not have directions in them, or are we using an older Forge World kits? Vanguard vets might make a comeback. I wonder if Bladeguard vets might make a comeback. I think that, well, the rumour is Plasma and Scepters are going down to 40 points, so that's a 20 point per model drop. I could definitely get on board with taking them at 40 points. That's what they were, I think, originally, before they started hiking them up in points. With their free reserve, verified Hellblasters with Assault Plasma might be good. Do you know what? I've got 10 Hellblasters painted. Maybe. Assault. If Hellblasters get a points drop, maybe. They're still 165 points, which is more points per model than a Sanguinary Guard. I feel like they shouldn't be as expensive as a Sanguinary Guard with Hellblaster. I don't think they're quite as good, right? The new kit has no directions? No way. Why are the new kits not coming with directions? That sucks. Turkey says, I had a shoulder injury that required 5 months recovery. Rehab is a pain and frustratingly long. Well, I mean, I guess I'm just going to have to do it every day. I think the advantage for me might be that I'm going to be using this arm all the time for painting slash modelling slash picking up my children. So hopefully, based on the fact that I have to do that shit anyway, the recovery might not be... I'm hoping the recovery might not be too bad, because I'll sort of be stuck doing that. I don't really have a choice not to do it, if that makes sense. Alright, this is a cool little model. But yeah, it's pretty spindly. I guess it's probably a bit like an AdMech. I like the Hoth troopers. Basically, so I guess this is what I've added to my Legion army. It's just... They call them rebel veterans, but they're basically the troopers that protected Echo Base. Not that they did a very good job of protecting Echo Base, did they? Considering Echo Base was overrun in like 5 minutes. And even though they came out of hyperspace too close to the planet, it still got overrun. The new Leviathan does come with instructions. Okay, so maybe I mean shit can happen. Maybe a kit didn't come with instructions. I think that's awesome though that you got the... I honestly want to get one of those 10-man blocks. Joel, good evening. I want to get one of those 10-man blocks of the Horus Heresy Terminators. Even though I already have like 50 Terminators. I don't have any Tartaros, I don't have any Cataphracti. I know in 40k now they're just called Relic Terminators or whatever, but yeah, I definitely want some. And I think I want 5 with Lightning Claws. I already have like Firstborn Terminators with them. Put that on the wrong way, shit. I already have Firstborn Terminators with Chain Fists? That's what I'm trying to say. Already got Firstborn Terminators with Chain Fists. So maybe I want like I'm trying to pivot this a little bit. Not happy. Maybe that'll do. See if it'll stick there. I already got like either it must be 5 or more Firstborn Terminators with Chain Fists, so I probably do like... Me personally, I'd probably maybe do like 8 with Lightning Claws or something, and like 2 with Chain Fists. Alright, I'm going to put more glue on it now that I know where it wants to be. I would love it if you and the Grots and a Vox done a meet and greet this year. The Grots were actually at Warhammer World yesterday. Mark and Tony, they go to Warhammer World really often, Joel. I unfortunately live on like the complete other side of the country from Warhammer World, and also I'm not allowed to drive at the moment because of my broken arm, so even if I wanted to go to Warhammer World, I wouldn't be able to. Hey Carter, good evening. Been a little while. How are you, buddy? Thank you so much for the gifted sub, as always. Always coming in with those gifted subs, much appreciated. This guy is just tantalizingly... I'm going to make a right sorter of the space. It doesn't really show you on the pictures. Where's the damn box art? Alright, okay, yeah, so the box art has... The box sorter has the 2 prongs right forward, so they need to turn like 90 degrees. Like that. Even more so. I think it has to go like that. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. That was so not obvious at all. I'm gonna have to pull off and put more glue on it. Foot, good evening. It was your first time at Warhammer World last week. Did you have fun? Did you go through the exhibition? The exhibition can kind of be crazy. Just considering how long it takes me to paint like 1,000 points of models, that expedition, God knows how many man hours that took to paint all that. Alright. This guy's base is going to be a fucking disaster, but I think I finally got it positioned sort of where I want it. Alright, let me mop up some of this super glue that's everywhere. I really hope that Reapers go down in points. I mean, Gladiators might go down in points. I've run a Gladiator now in a couple of battles. I just don't think they're very good. If they go down like 20 points, 30 points, maybe I could see myself playing them, but no, I'm not. I'm dropping the Reaper for my next game. I think I'm going to play a game next week, and I'm going to drop the Reaper. I really don't like it. I don't think it's a competitive model as it stands. I wish I was close to you as Warhammer World, but for me it's like a 15-hour drive probably to Warhammer World. Maybe not quite 15, maybe that's an exaggeration, but I'd say at least probably 10, maybe 12. If Armor of Contempt is gone, Space Marines are going to be in a really tough spot. I don't remember if people are forgetting how bad we were before Armor of Contempt. But Armor of Contempt genuinely made a big difference. Like, it genuinely pulled us from the depths of hell, I feel like. I kept hearing that the Reaper was good. I don't know why. I don't know who told you the Reaper was good, but I mean, I've used the Gladiator a few times, and when it gets focused, it's just so expensive for how quickly it dies. Remember when we used Terminators, Blade Guards, and Vanguard Veterans? I mean, that's what we did before Armor of Contempt, for sure. I mean, if all those units drop, like, 5 points per model, maybe there's some play there. Maybe it opens up the meta a bit, but like, I mean, it definitely, if Armor of Contempt goes away, it definitely buffs all those things you mentioned. Blade Guard, Terminators, Vanguard Veterans, which are, for once, are actually things that I have fully painted, which never happens. The meta very rarely changes into things that I have completely ready and fully painted, so that would be nice. Oh, this guy's like a Solston. Oh, I didn't pre-check that his head went on the damn. That's the problem with these things not coming on sprues. Oh, it does fit, it just as a weird angle. Okay, I gotta check these things before I try and push them together. Good evening, Robert. How are you doing? Speeder weapons will be free, so tornadoes are 70 points with a multi-melt and assault cannon. Oh, that could be interesting. That makes them the same points as just the land speeder, or does the land speeder just become 60 points? How do I feel about the new box sets? Well, there's no new models in any of the box sets. And I think that's the most telling thing for me, is like... I find it hard... I already buy my Warhammer from like a third-party site. Like, I genuinely don't use Games Workshop because... If you're in the UK here anyway, you can use Element Games, and there's a link in like every video I do to Element Games, and you just get like it's a good amount. It's like if the box is on sale on the Warhammer website for, let's say, like $30, on Element it'll be like 25. So if you're buying like 2 or 3 boxes, you save like $20 every time, right? So I generally buy all my stuff from Element anyway, so like the repackaged boxes, which you don't really get much choice, like the battle boxes, you don't get to choose what's in there, right? You just get what's in the battle box. And it's kind of the same, like it's no cheaper. You know, I guess maybe you guys in America, the battle boxes are a little bit cheaper, but here in the UK, because we can use the third-party resellers, it's like no cheaper. So it's the battle boxes. I have never bought a battle box. I would like to. I mean, I bought like 2 copies of Indomitus, which was like a box that had like new Marines in it. I bought Dark Imperium, obviously, which was a box with new Marines in it, but like a battle box that has nothing new. I don't know why I would. Well, I don't know why you would need it, but also I find it hard to get excited about it because it's just a repackage. And the upgrade sprue they give you in those battle boxes is not that great. Like, I actually filmed myself this holiday opening the Death Company box and like looking at the sprue in the Death Company box. I was going to make a short on it and just say, like, if you want Blood Angels upgrade parts or Blood Angels, like, not even upgrade parts, just if you want bits to make your Blood Angels more custom, I feel like you're better getting a Death Company box than the upgrade sprues, because upgrade sprues, the shoulder pads are kind of lackluster, whereas the Death Company ones are all ornate and they have like blood drops on it. You could even get Sangre Guard set with all the wings and stuff. I mean, those 2 sets to me just seem way better than the upgrade sprue. Good evening, Texan. How you doing? Alright, I think this is a little Solistan. Solistan? Is that what you call them? The guy that's on, I don't remember seeing them in the Battle of Hoth, but there was one on the ship at the end of at the end of Return of the Jedi with Lando. It was like his co-pilot. The Death Company box is the best for bits. Yeah, which is funny because the Death Company box is so good for bits, right? But the Death Company box is so good for bits, but the Death Company Intercessor box is like the worst. So it's very strange. I don't know what they were thinking with that Death Company Intercessor box, but wherever they were thinking, they got it wrong, I feel like. Right, these guys are pretty quick to build, actually. It's just this one with the silly turret that was impossible. I was going to say, hopefully it's stuck on there well and good. I'd definitely use enough super glue. I like Sangre Guard, Vanguard Vets. I mean, the Vanguard Vets box is good, but it doesn't have anything Blood Angel specific. But it is good for weapons and storm shields, that is true. The Infernal Pistols come in the Death Company box and a lot of nice shoulders. Yeah, One thing that's nice about the Sanguinary Guard set is that they have a lot of infernal pistols in it as well, and if you wanted to do like a bike captain with infernal pistol, then a Sanguinary Guard infernal pistol is really good, because you can still sort of model them holding the handlebars that have one of those, like, you know, Buzz Lightyear has like a laser in his arm. Well, I don't know what you call those like arm mounted infernal pistols. I guess that's what you would call the Sanguinary Guard's weapons, are arm mounted. How many come in the Death Company box? What, infernal pistols? Maybe two. I have a Death Company sprue right behind me, I can check. Did anyone get anything for good for Christmas? I got a Librarian Dreadnought and Commander Dante from the wife. Nice, you've got your wife well trained. My wife never buys me Warhammer, Texan. They're supposed to give back Blood Angels Tactical Squad. I don't think they'll give back the Firstborn Tactical Squad. They might make a Blood Angels Primaris Tactical Squad, but I mean, I don't know why you would, or a Blood Angels Prime. I don't know why you would want that, because yeah, I don't know why you'd want it. I don't know what it brings to the table that we don't already get with, like, I don't know what it already, yeah, that we don't already get with, like, the Intercessors. There was a like a Joy Toy, I think is what it's called. They did some like Blood Angels. It looked like you were getting like, yeah, maybe there'll be a Blood Angels Intercessor squad, and maybe it'll have some cool Blood Angels parts in it. But in terms of like actual strength within the game on the tabletop, like competitive things you'll want to buy, I don't think you'll see that as a. I don't think that'll really be a competitive option. I mean, the Blood Angels Tactical Squad is cool, and I actually ended up using some of those bits from that Tactical Squad for a conversion just the other night, so it was really handy that I'd had one. But it's a long time since that was even remotely competitive. Lucky Hopper got 1,000 points of Tyranids from his wife. Oh man, like, so what? How do you guys get? How have you guys got your, like, do you have to tell your wives what to buy for Warhammer? Or like, how do you get your wives to buy Warhammer at Christmas? So I get some, like, I was gonna say, I get some like chocolates and stuff like that, socks and stuff that have, I guess, not as much interest in as Warhammer, right? Oh, that's pretty cool. His gun comes separately and he's got it on his back. Okay. Alright, some of these Legion models are pretty cool. I just want to buy the Angels of Death book. I've seen they've printed it. How have you seen they've printed it? Where is this rumour of Angels of Death coming from, Mike? You drag it along to the shops? Man, I don't have a Games Workshop in the city that I live in, unfortunately. Otherwise, that's what I would have had to do. 2 Infernal Pistols in the Death Company box, 1 in the Sanguinary Guard box. Is there only 1 in the Sanguinary Guard box? That feels bad, man. I would have thought. It's been a while since I opened a new box of Sanguinary Guard. I felt like there was more than 1. I bought myself the Infinity Airbrush at Christmas while it was on sale. Decided to treat myself to much needed upgrade. I do want to get an airbrush at some point, but I need to do some work on this house actually. This room is a disaster zone, so I need to. I'm going to build a shed this year, I think, and try and get like my garage cleaned out. And then if I get that, then maybe I can get an airbrush. Because at the moment, just all the stuff that would live in a shed lives in my garage, and it means that there's no room in my garage for anything, basically. This is a really interesting gun, actually. I think it must be some sort of ion cannon or something. Don't actually know what gun it is. I don't remember seeing this in the Battle of Hoth. I feel like it must be some sort of ion cannon. Does it say on the instructions? I haven't really been following the instructions. It just says he's a trooper. Okay. Does anyone use a garage to store a car these days? I mean, I don't. My car has literally never been in my garage. I have my roof box for my car in the garage. Does that count? So, like, a part of the car is in the garage. It's almost like it's worth buying a 3D printer for Infernal Pistols. Yeah, I mean, or collect Blood Angels for a long time, and I mean, arguably Vanguard with lots of bolters is good right now, and Death Company with lots of hammers is good right now. So if you bought a bunch of those, then over time you'd start collecting Infernal Pistols. Mike's motorcycle lives in the garage. Did you all see the new jet bikes? I think the new jet bikes are going to be custode jet bikes, right? Because they, unless I'm mistaken, they look identical to the jet bikes the custodes get already. They're probably just going to be plastic, right? That was from the Horus Heresy trailer that went out today, right? I'm not sure if you guys all watched that yet. It was only like a minute long and it didn't actually show that much. Most of it showed was silhouettes. Evidently they're marine jet bikes? Really? In 30k? I mean, it seems a bit random that they'd have jet bikes in 30k when we don't have flying jet bikes in 40k. So what, over 10,000 years they just forgot how to make flying jet bikes? Tomorrow should be interesting, but not holding my breath, says Robert. Yeah, tomorrow will be interesting. I might make a video tomorrow on the reveal stream, or whatever it ends up being. Horus Heresy have marine jet bikes. They forgot how to make them, just like Contemptor Dreads and other Terminator armor. Really? Really? They didn't... The AdMech didn't write down how to make this shit? Turkey says the mechanic is forgot because they're fucking dumb. Okay. Marines all use jet bikes in 30k. I guess you learn something new every day, huh? I don't know that much about 30k. I've only read a handful of the 30k books. So that's interesting to know, I guess. White Scars have the jet bikes? So they remembered. I wonder... It'll be interesting to see what they do with Imperial Armor Book. That's why the Khan walks, he lost his shit. You couldn't make it up, could you? I did notice that someone said on Twitter, Sangry Guard won't be that useful anymore. I mean, I've tried to... It's funny because we've gone back and forth on Sangry Guard a lot this edition, haven't we? It's been like, they were the best thing ever, then they're the worst, then they're the best, then they're the worst. I guess we'll see. It'll also depend on points costs. Because Vanguard veterans were put up in points costs. So if they come back down in points cost, and Armor of Contempt disappears, then I can totally see Vanguard veterans getting play again. Especially Lightning Claw ones. I think the Lightning Claw Vanguard veterans are good. I mean, I never thought Lightning Claw Vanguard veterans were bad, per se. But, They just suffered, I think, because they fell out of meta because of Armor of Contempt. We probably won't know till the middle of January, though, right? Like, I know everybody's excited about the reveal stream, but the actual, like, points costs and change notes and stuff. I actually think that the Horus Heresy models are kind of reasonably priced, because in some ways you get more of them. Like, if you look at the price of 5 Terminators for 40k, compared to, like, 5 or 10 Terminators for the Horus Heresy, I think the price is actually very competitive for the Horus Heresy. I think I will buy, like, 10 Terminators from the Horus Heresy at some point. I think probably I'm gonna... I've got a fair backlog to work on for the next 6 months or something. So I'm probably gonna work on my backlog for 6 months. And if they announce any new Primaris stuff, then I'll buy that. And if they announce any new Blood Angels options, like jump packs on Intercessors or jump packs on Primaris things, I guess I'll buy those. But I don't think I'm gonna run out and buy the Horus Heresy stuff just yet. I think my daughter's up. I'll be back in just one sec. Only one guy from the Sanguinary Guard survived Tyrannid attack on Baal, so they need to upgrade like hell. I mean, that is true. I thought it was 2 that survived, but maybe you're right. Maybe it was just 1. So, I mean, arguably they probably... It's kind of funny. Have you guys read the Astaroth book yet? Which is the book like right after Devastation of Baal. Because in the Astaroth book, they go on a bit about... they're going on a bit about how, like... I forget the name of the chapter. It's not the Knights of the Blood. It's another successor chapter, but they're getting reinforcements from Guilliman. And they're Primaris reinforcements. And they're hoping that they won't fall to the Black Rage. But they will. But they inevitably do, right? But the point of it is that, like, there's only a few Firstborn left, or the Firstborn are greatly depleted, and they're getting like Primaris reinforcements. So the question really is, with the Blood Angels, I suppose they could promote all the Firstborn that survived into the Sanguinary Guard to keep the Sanguinary Guard all Firstborn, but at some point you would think that Sanguinary Guard would just inevitably become Primaris, right? Who died in Darkness in the Blood? I've read Darkness in the Blood. Who died in it? I don't remember who died in it. I have a bad memory, but I don't know if it's just as you get older, you don't hold on to things as well. Most people have been running like 18 Vanguard. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been running a lot of Vanguard since they got their points drop. They got the points drop, and then they got improved with Armor of Contempt. They're still vulnerable to high AP weaponry. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with Vanguard, is they are still quite vulnerable to high AP weaponry. And it does seem like there is a lot of high AP weaponry in the game at the moment. So, in some ways, Vanguard veterans like Lightning Claws and they come back with Storm Shields, I think there could be some play. I haven't read all of the Mephiston books. I did start the first one in the series, but then I got the Astrath book, and I don't know why I've not finished it. I'm like 2 chapters from the end. When I finish it, I'll do a quick book review on it, I think. I haven't done a book review on the channel, but I am always just trying to cover all things Blood Angels on the channel. And also take suggestions, so if anyone's got any suggestions for any content that they want to see, you can let me know and I'll do it. Here's a fact: with or without Armor of Contempt, Samurai Guard will still be our best unit. We'll see, I guess. AP is out of control right now. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Sisters of Battle, Samurai Guard are going to be super difficult. I mean, -4 AP means saving on 6s. I mean, I feel like they already suffer really bad if you're fighting into -4 AP armies. I mean, they are still arguably one of the best units, but I think the argument does swing towards, hey, Vanguard veterans are a decent alternative. Have I finished the Great Angel yet? I haven't started the Great Angel. I was going to do that after Astaroth. Because I don't know why I have not finished Astaroth. I'm just a couple of chapters away from finishing it, honestly. I would love to see a chronological timeline of just the canon of Blood Angels. I mean, that would be cool. I don't know if I know where that's all available and how to do that, but I could have a look into it. I've actually got the Blood Quest novel, not the novel, it's not a novel. Oh, it's a comic. It's not a comic. It's a graphic novel. That's what I'm thinking. I've read it for what order to read the books in. Well, I mean, if you're just reading the Blood Angels books more recently, like the newer iterations of the books, it would be like Dante, Devastation of Baal, Darkness and the Blood, Astaroth is the chronological order. If you are going back further to like the Raffin books, which I actually don't own and have never read, there was a whole series about, like, I think he's a lieutenant or a captain or maybe gets promoted, called Raffin. I planned to get it at some point, but I never got round to it. And then there's also like a Blood Angels omnibus you can get. There's maybe actually 2. I've got one of them here. Hold on, I'll show you. The one that I've got is so there's Darkness in the Blood. I actually found that in a GW store and picked it up because those things Like, once these things go out of, like, the original run and print, they're like gold dust to try and pick up. I'd like to get Dante and Devastation of Baal, but I don't know what the chances are. So I picked up this one as well. So there's this one, which has, like... I don't know if I can do this with one hand. I'm going to start at this one, actually. Sons of Sanguinius, the Blood Angels Omnibus. It's got like 10 stories in it, it seems like. Guy Haley wrote 2 of them, Gav Thrope wrote a couple, James Swallow wrote like 4. Chris Wright, he's the guy that just wrote the Great Angel. Dan Abbott, he wrote one. And then one of them's about Flesh Tears as well. So, yeah, if you see these books, guys, pick them up, because, like, once they go out of print, you have to pay so much over the odds for them. It's ridiculous. Like, I think at this point you're like $100. You're like $100 for a paperback copy of the Dante book. If you're looking for a painting service, Joel, then hit up Mike. Mike Carney. He's in this channel all the time. He doesn't charge $650 a model. And he's genuinely pretty good. He painted my Gladiator for me. And at the moment, I got a commission with him for like... It's quite a big commission he's got going on for me. He's painting 10 Tempest Scions as Voidsman at Arms. He's painted Ironclad Dreadnought. He's painted a Vindicator Laser Destroyer. And he's painted a Terrak Siege Drill. So, I mean, that's probably like $300 a models. Maybe slightly less than 300. But, yeah, his prices seem very decent for the level he does. I think commission painters can go both ways. You can spend silly money, or you can just go buy with like something reasonably decent for decent money. So, the Omnibus is the Rathan trilogy. That's not the Rathan trilogy that I have there, is it? Reziel, that's a different Omnibus. I like to pretend that the Rathan books don't exist. They were god awful. Oh well, I never got round to buying them. The thing is, sometimes you can think a novel's bad and then someone else might think it's good. I suppose it's like a movie. There's a certain degree of well, see, Mark quite enjoyed the Sanguinius book, I guess, but Morgo just said that he hated it, so... I guess it can depend. If you're just starting, Joel, buy the Dante book if you can get a hold of it. See, I also bought this, which I haven't read either yet because I suck at getting round to reading stuff. But this is gorgeous. Like, I like graphic novels. I have a few graphic novels of like D&D books and Star Wars books. I have the Vader series. Marvel did the Vader series. And it's very, very cool as well. So, I keep meaning to read this. Keep meaning to do it. But yeah, this is what. Speaking of wife buying birthday presents, this is what my wife bought me last Christmas, which is like, this is a Marvel comic, but it's Vader. Oh, I guess that's my, this is my bookmark. A plastic bag from Star Wars Legion. My bookmark is like 2 chapters in. I suck at reading books. I really do. But I was enjoying the Vader series. I think this might be volume 2, actually. Raffin is written like an old Ultramarine. I mean, the lore's changed a lot over the years, I guess, right? Dan Abbott is my favourite, says Morgul. I've really liked Guy Hanley and his Blood Angels books. I really was hoping for a new book. I was hoping it would be released by now, like a new book where I was hoping for a new book where Dante goes through the Rubicon. That was what I was hoping for. I know that's controversial. Some people don't want to see him do the Rubicon. I think we need him to do the Rubicon. I think I waste too much of my free time playing video games, because video games are like no effort, right? You just sit down and you press a button on your controller and you're in the magic, and I think I definitely waste too much time playing video games and not reading or... I've put like 10 hours into the Chaos Gate game now, which I've been covering on the channel, and I actually genuinely really like that Chaos Gate game. Sometimes when companies make like a genre that another company has like made from scratch or something, it can be pretty bad, or it can be poor, or it can maybe not understand all the mechanics, might be the way of saying it. But like Chaos Gate for me seems really enjoyable, and it's basically like an XCOM style game. What do you think's coming next year? Sorry, oh, that you think Dante's going through the Rubicon next year? Yeah, I would like to see a new book though, that makes him go through the Rubicon. Where can you buy the book? Probably the best place would be Black Library, but it might be difficult to get a hold of. Jim's going to make his Dante Dreadnought and call it the Sad Knot because he just can't die. I really want to see our Dreadnoughts get some improved rules next edition. Like, I don't know why our Dreadnoughts... Did the Space Wolves like, I know Space Wolves get like a couple of custom Dreadnoughts that can have like those Space Wolf shields, whatever they're called, and maybe they can have slightly different melee weapons. Did the Space Wolf Dreadnoughts get the core? Did they get core keyword? Does anyone know? Or was it just our Dreadnoughts that didn't get the core keyword? And if so, why not? It's like discrimination against the Blood Angels Dreadnoughts, honestly. The blaster rifles that all these Legion troops have really remind me of lasguns, you know that? The same person who revealed we're getting an Adriel model said that we're getting a Dante model. I think we might hear about the Dante model on January the 1st, honestly. I think that might be a new year Dante reveal. That would get us hyped. What do you think of a Dread Swarm using the new detachment from Librarian Dread, Ironclad, etc, etc? I think you'd run out of elite slots, right, before you could spend all the 2,000 points. Unless you're not going 2,000 points, I guess. I think it's really going to depend on the new secondaries. The Angels of Death book reveal, you think, on the 1st? I mean, it could be. It could be the book reveal. That would be cool. I mean, the Arcs of Omen reveal stream things, whatever they call them, the things that they're doing. There was definitely one that sort of was Blood Angels, like, last week, right? So I'd be very surprised if we didn't see something Blood Angels coming. I'd really hope that I had managed to get in contact with Games Workshop and like, you know, the rumor that I heard when I started my channel was that, like, if you got to 10,000 subscribers, Games Workshop would speak to you. You know how they, like, send some people review copies and stuff. And I did get to 10,000, and I did send them an email. They basically sent me an email back saying, "Don't call us, we'll call you." And I was like, damn it, man. It would have been really nice if I could have been one of the first people to know about the new Blood Angel stuff to share it, but oh well. It's what it is. I'll try and react to it quickly and make a video and stuff if there is. Hopefully I won't be too hungover in the 1st. That's the plan. Whether it will happen or not is a different story. We're going to end this edition the exact way we started it, with 2 Dreadnoughts, 2 Plasma Inceptors, 2 Sanguinary Guard, 1 Death Company. See, I think you're going to still want more Death Company. And maybe, I mean, I'm sort of ending this edition with Lamartez. I'm thinking Lamartez is a good shout. AOD is going Death Company Redemptors. Who's AOD? I don't think you can do Death Company Redemptors. I mean, I painted one of my Redemptors Death Company, but it was just a fun color scheme. They don't have any rules, right? Oh, Angels of Death is going to have Death Company Redemptors. I'll believe that when I see it. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably the problem, Monkey, is that I only want to speak about Blood Angels, so I don't want Games Workshop to send me all that other stuff. Maybe that's why they haven't reached out to me. I would only do it if they could just talk about Blood Angel stuff. Jack says his Games Workshop contact says Blood Angel stuff is on the way. You deserve it, just say it. It's very kind of you to say. I don't know. I still haven't won a tournament with Blood Angels. I need to hurry up and win a tournament, honestly. If we lose Fury of the Lost, Death Company lose a lot of value except for the turn 1 charge. That's very true. You might just see one squad of Death Company with Thunderhammers if you lose Fury of the Lost. Which is probably which is probably going to happen, considering I just built like all these new Death Company with Thunderhammers. So probably in true fashion, as I finish all these models ready to get painting, they become useless to me on the tabletop. That's usually how this works. And then usually what happens, that means, is those models I will now put in a box, and I won't use them because I feel like they're useless or less important or whatnot, and then they'll get added to the pile of shame until sometime years from now when they become useful again, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I need to finish those ones that are half painted. And saying that, that's the exact state my Plasma Inceptors are in, that's the exact state like half my Terminators are in, that's the exact state some of my Blade Guard are in, that's the state some of my Lightning Claw Vanguard Veterans are in, so we'll see. It might be a giant pivot for me in terms of what I'm painting. Brett says I'm better not selling my soul to Games Workshop. I'm sure they don't take your soul, Brett. But I know what you mean. I think I'd still run 2 Death Company with hammers, but Lamartes and the 3rd unit will be out of there. Unless they get free war gear. I mean... if Death Company get free war gear, holy shit, that will be boss. I doubt that will happen, though. It's coming. Monkey says, thanks, Monkey. I do think that, like, every time I go to an event, I feel like I'm a stronger player than I was at the previous events. And typically I'm finishing, like, top 5s and stuff. I think it's just going to have to be... I need to end up at an event when, like, Space Marines are in a good state. Because I don't know if I've been to an event this... in 9th edition where, like, Space Marines were really, like, a... you know, strong. Like, Space Marines never felt like they were, like, a top tier, like an S tier army or a really strong army. So maybe I just need to get to an event where Space Marines are like a high B, a B plus or an A minus or something, and like then maybe I can actually win an event. We'll see. Gitley says we can dream of Death Company free war gear. Okay, well, I mean, how about it's a New Year's dream? From all the leaks of NDAs this year, I actually, at this point, with all the leaks, I'm wondering if, like, if they are not releasing some of these leaks themselves for hype. Like, it just seems to me like there's too many leaks at the moment. Like, every day it's rumors. Like, I kind of feel like, I could be wrong, I mean, I'm probably wrong, but I feel like if I was a big company making new products and they were leaking this often and I didn't want them to be leaked, I feel like you could do something about that. Simon says, hey, did I miss a bit of info? Just joined after building 15 Sangre Guards today. Hope they don't get replaced soon. Yeah, I mean, 2023 is rumoured to be the year of Primaris Marines of all sorts. Don't feel too bad. I mean, I just finished 7 Death Company and sprayed them yesterday. And I think I just finished like 10 Sangre Guard, like just the month before I broke my arm. So I think they're telling people to leak. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if there was that many leaks in the company I worked in, because I work in a company where we do product launches every couple of months, and we might tease a little bit of information here and there, but we're not telling people like, hey, this is exactly what you're gonna get. I feel like if I went on the forums for, you know, whatever company or whatever that I work for, or went on Reddit and everything about the new updates and patches and stuff was on there every single time, which it is at the moment. It feels like every single release there's a leak before it. Surely, like, they can be like, right, well, someone's leaking this shit, let's find out, let's it would be very easy to find out who it was as well, because they could just make something up, like, just say, like, I don't know, they could just say, like, they could make a picture of, let's say, like, Sanguinius from 30k, and just say Sanguinius is coming back from 40k. Even though it makes no sense in the lore, just go with me on this one, right? They could just say Sanguinius is coming back, we've made this reason for him, and then we could give that out, or we could publish that internally, or they could publish that wherever they want. And then when it leaks, they could say, alright, person X leaked that. Who have they been talking to, because that's fake news, and all other people didn't release it because they knew it was fake. But yeah, who knows? Simon, they will be sold out of any new Sangre Guard, so you get to proxy the original ones. I think you'll be, like, if they did Primaris Sangre Guard, I would hope, if their weapon options are the same, I would hope you could just take your firstborn ones to an event. Unless it's like an official GW event. Sorry, I'm just biting super glue off my fingers as always. Unless it's an official GW event, I think you could take your firstborn ones to an event and just say, these are the firstborn ones. But I'm playing them as Primaris ones. I mean, I've been to events before where people have had the wrong guns on their dreadnoughts and stuff and just said, hey, these dreadnoughts are armed with these guns, I know it's the wrong guns, is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, as long as it's either WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get, or they're very clear about it up front. Because I hate Space Marine Scouts. I hate how they look. So I actually converted Necromunda models last edition into Space Marine Scouts. In any event I took them to, or any time I played, I would say to people, these Necromunda models, which are on the same size base as the Scouts, are my proxy Scouts. And everyone was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. What weapons do they have? And I was like, well, they got the right weapons, because it's just bolters, right? No one had a problem with it. There we go, there is a Rebel Alliance strike team from the planet of Hoth to add to last night's Tauntauns. And hopefully, when I eventually do play Legion, they can defend Echo Base better than they defended it in the movie. Monkey said, I just finished building 2,000 point Death Guard just in time for the leaks. We gotta buy the new crap if true. Look at you go. Thanks, Carter, yeah. These are pretty cool models, actually. They're very... I mean, you can make a whole... It's nice that you don't have to cut them out off the sprues. They're maybe not quite as detailed as the Games Workshop stuff, and the plastic's a pain in the arse to work with, but it's not the end of the world. I want Mephiston to be a named Librarian Dreadnought. I don't think that would happen. I can't see them putting Mephiston in a Dreadnought anytime soon. Not when they just did a Primaris model of him. Astrath has nothing to do with Sanguinius. Who is mentioning Astrath and Sanguinius? Sorry. I have to do the same with my Death Company Power Swords. They all have Infernals. Yeah, so these guys have environmental gear. They can go in Overwatch. They can add that big gun, which apparently is just called a CM93 Trooper. They have Endurance, which is they can remove suppression. And then it looks like you get two options here, actually. Okay, so you can run Rebel Veterans. And then actually this is the weapon platform, the Mark II Legion Blaster Trooper. So he can pivot 360 degrees. He doesn't move very far at all. But he gets 2 critical dice. And he also has a fixed firing arc at the front. Yeah, I mean, I like Legion. I just haven't played it in like 2 years, so I kind of forget all the rules and stuff. But every troop or every model you buy in Legion comes with these handy tokens. So you have like basically like little tokens to put with them. You get a proof of purchase. I don't really know why you would care about that, but you do, I guess. And you get the cards, which is basically the data sheets that go with them. Simon says, watch your video on Vanguard wing building as well, which helps so much. Thanks for that. Oh, Simon, you're very welcome. I just built so many Vanguard over the years, it felt like it was a video that needed made to tell people in the community just Vanguard are actually really easy to build. I've never seen John build models so fast. I can actually build the models pretty fast. It's the painting for me that's the slow part, man. Dante should merge with the Sanguiner so we have both the Avatar of the Angels. There's been so many rumors around Dante, the Sanguiner, the merging. I don't know what we're going to get. It sounds like we might just get Primaris Dante. If we do get Primaris Dante, I hope to God they fix his axe. Like, please make his axe 3 damage. Like, his axe being 2 damage just sucks. Hate his axe being 2 damage. Hate it so much. Another thing to note is the whole Black Angel and Light Angels aren't sanguineous. They're warp entities powered by the Blood Angels. Yeah, there is some sort of weird shenanigans going on in the warp, right? There's even a rumor that Sanguinius is alive in the warp. Gitley gathers that Plasma Inceptors are going to be a good choice for the new meta. I guess we'll see. If you have spare Sanguinary Guard wings, you can do some cool conversions with Plasmas. I've seen some very cool conversions with Plasma Inceptors and Sandguard wings. It's definitely something you can do. Alright, well, I'm not going to open... Wrong camera. There we go. I'm going to open another box of models tonight. Because it's 5 to midnight. Oh. This thing around my neck is a pain in the arse, though. Dante weapon profile is outdated. Damage 2 is a joke. I did notice that. Oh, I haven't shaved, man. Because I'm using left. I guess I do a lot of things with my right hand, right? So is it 11:55 there? Yeah, it's 3 minutes to midnight. Because I shave with my right hand normally. I just haven't trimmed my beard for like a month at this point. I normally trim it probably like every week. I guess that's what happens when you break your arm, huh? It is a pain in the neck. I can take my arm out of this thing though, and like lie it in my lap, and that is sort of comfortable for a time. I subscribe to the theory that Empowered used warp entities to make the Primarchs. Oh, the theory that the Emperor used warp entities. I don't know much about how he made the Primarchs. Unlucky John. Necrons are a bit of a pain in the arse though, right? Like, they just... Reincarnation feels like it can go either way, right? Like, you play a game where, like, none of their stuff reincarnates, or you play a game and everything that they have reincarnates all the time. But Necrons... I think Necrons are a reasonable counter against Blood Angels too, you know that? A good-looking Primaris Dante with good rules could convince you to buy some Primaris models. Well, hopefully Games Workshop will listen. Maybe they heard you. It's time to buy some good Primaris models. Not if you wipe the whole units. Yeah, not if you wipe the whole units and you or you mortal wound them. But it's never always that easy. Yeah. I played Necrons in a tournament recently, Gitley, and I went first, and it was on that stupid Abandoned Sanctuaries map. And like, I wanted anything but first turn, because there's nothing I can do in a first turn in Abandoned Sanctuaries, because I can't, the deployment zones are 24 inches across, I can't get close to them. So I basically just had to move models into no man's land. And then he went on his first turn, he was able to get line of sight on a few things, kill them, and then he was able to use an Orb of Darkness to appear behind one of my units with like a giant blob of like, I don't know, 20 Necron Warriors with the Gauze Reapers. Just rip one of my units apart. And then obviously when I charged that unit, he reincarnated like crazy. Like most games I would have just killed them. Of course he reincarnated, and it was like the worst first turn I ever had in a game. So Necrons can go both ways. Abandoned Sanctuaries is the bad mission, and Abandoned Sanctuaries I feel like should not be played at the fight. It was the 5th game of a tournament. Like, I feel like you should never play Abandoned Sanctuaries as the 5th game of a tournament. because it really hurts armies like ours, melee armies that like. So if he'd gone first, great, I could have probably won the game. But by me going first in Abandoned Sanctuaries, I've got nothing to put pressure on him, and I have to just try and find. It's not player place terrain either. It was like tournament terrain. So I can get maybe like 10 models in obscuring halfway across the board, and there's nothing I can do. But yeah, I did complain to the tournament organizer about Abandoned Sanctuaries, but I didn't push it too hard because I was just like, why is Abandoned Sanctuaries in your tournament? Like, it's not a good map. It's not a balanced map. I don't like it. But I guess some people see pre-game move as like shenanigans. Don't know. We'll see with the beard, though. I might cut it. I mean, but I don't understand. This is one of life's mysteries, right? Scissors don't work in your left hand. I don't understand why, right? Scissors. If you got a pair of scissors, they work fine in your right hand. You put them in your left hand, and you're just closing them, and they don't fucking cut anything. Apparently, my wife told me, she's like, you can get left-handed scissors. I was like, I don't understand that. Why do scissors not work in the left hand? It's just two blades. What difference does it make what hand it's in? But apparently it is. So I couldn't do my beard even if I wanted to, because the fucking scissors aren't left-handed. I feel we will see more like Abandoned in Oath. I wonder what they're going to do with the missions, actually, because they said they're changing all the missions in Arcs of Omen. I don't think they're going to have... I don't think they'll have more than one mission with no pre-game move, because it shuts down armies. It hurts some armies and it does nothing against other armies. And I don't think it's a good mechanic to have. Because arguably the armies that do the pre-game move rely on them. Like, there's a lot of games that I've played over the last year where me going first has opened up like an advantage, because I can basically trade anything with the Death Company, right? It's like a 160 point unit with some buffs that I can just trade into anything. And like, I remember playing Miles's army, and he's got like 3 fucking D cannons, and if I can't get to those D cannons and he just sits them behind an obscuring piece of terrain, he probably wins the game, because those D cannons, even with the new line of sight rules, just do so much damage. They're like D6 plus 2, strength 12, minus 4. So even with Armor of Contempt and he can't see me, it's still minus 2. So every failed save at minus 2 is a dead Marine. And he's got like the D cannons surrounded by like Howling Banshees and stuff. So yeah, getting a Forlorn Fury into them and killing a couple of D cannons is literally the difference between, hey, I have a chance in this game, as opposed to like, I'm just going to get destroyed in this game. And if you haven't fought Hail of Doom Eldar when Eldar was strong like that, trust me, if those D cannons are left alone the whole game and you can't get to them, you're going to lose the game. There's nothing you can do about it. They don't have that long range, but they can zone you out of half the map. And if Armor of Contempt is gone, stuff like those D cannons are just going to be so scary into Sanguinary Guard and stuff again. Like, Eldar are still strong, just as soup. I think Eldar are fine. I honestly think they're. I think you can build strong Eldar lists without soup. And I love the Incarn. I think the Incarn's such a fun unit to play around with. Okay. It is midnight or just past it, so but we can bring Hecachunks. We can bring Hecachunks, I guess. I'm probably not going to rush out and buy a squat detachment. I might feel some Helverins, but I'm not going to rush out and buy squats. I really don't want to. I see why they've done that. I see why they're letting you use like the Votan squats and stuff, but I think that I think what I wanted to see the most was like just Like, just more balance on the marine shooting options. Like, just make more of the marine shooting options feel competitive. The rumours are we're getting a points drop, so I guess we'll see. And as soon as we know what the points drops and stuff are, we'll do a stream about it, and we can all talk about it, and we'll figure out what's good for the meta, I guess. So, yeah, thanks for watching tonight, guys. I'm going to be live in 2 days' time for the 31st. Yeah, like 2 days' time. So if you want to catch me on the 31st, I'll announce the stream tomorrow or something. So maybe borrow Votan for a game. I mean, I know what the Votan do. I've played them 3 times now. I just don't. It's gonna be one season, right, where they're gonna let you take that Votan, and I guess. I think I'd rather just spend that season just focusing on my Blood Angels, trying to make them as strong as they can for the following season, where shit, basically, when 10th edition comes out. So it might be a good time to paint up more of my Primaris stuff, or just get ready. Votan don't have as high a win rate as I thought they would have. They have like a... Let me think. They have like a 52% win rate, but I really thought it would be higher. Stay pure. Yeah, exactly, Mike. And that's what I do in this channel. Is usually I just do Blood Angels. I just stay pure. So I'll be here all of next year, probably staying pure. Probably painting my backlog of Blood Angels every week, as we always do. Maybe I'll take the Siege Drill in the new year. Because I'm excited to finally get a Siege Drill. And maybe, do you know what? Maybe I'll actually finish painting my Storm Raven. Because if you weren't here the other night, we were saying you could put the Storm Raven with a character with Icon of the Angel, like a Death Company captain with Icon of the Angel and a jump pack, and 3 Centurions and a Death Company Dreadnought into the Storm Raven, and you can reserve all that for free now. And then you turn 2, you can put the Storm Raven down 9 inches away. Maybe there's a play. Maybe there's a play around Storm Ravens. And do you know what? I've had that Storm Raven for about 3 years. Maybe longer, and it's not been painted. So yeah. Maybe that'll be what I end up doing. It would be nice to finish painting my Storm Raven. I've had it far too long. You can see the box, it's right there. It's probably sitting in that box. I like to keep them in the box because otherwise it would have like a layer of dust to stick on. I don't know how much of the drop pod will get made, mind you. Mainly be drinking, but we'll do a bit of making the drop pod. Hey Adamor, how you doing? So yeah, catch you guys in a couple of days' time. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for watching. Hit like before you leave, I would appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the flip side. By the blood are we made strong, brothers. Peace.